Hey everybody, welcome back to Vegan on Valguero. So last time we were here, we managed to get ourselves a little horse to get around on, an Equus. So what we're going to do is make use of that today. We're going to go out and do a bit of exploring. We're going to need a couple of things. What I think we need to do is upgrade our base a little bit, just to make it a bit more secure. We may even, while exploring, if we find a better location, we may even just move. But we're also going to want a spyglass, so we're going to need to find some crystal. And I want to get some crops up and going, because the crops are obviously very important for our vegan series, to be able to progress at a better pace. So for now, let's just get out and get exploring and see what we can find. I do have a couple of levels, which let's just get those in while we're here. Let's get our health up a little bit more. So one of the other things too, which that moth down there, or Lamentria, those are actually a herbivore. So I was wondering what we were going to do about a flyer, if it was even possible. But yeah, those are tamed with berries or kibble, which we won't be able to use kibble because it requires eggs, but we can use the veggies, which will be a lot better. Okay, so this is what I was looking for, somewhere off the beach, something a bit different to go explore. Something had a bad day. Yeah, okay, we've got some metal around here. Just realized I didn't bring any arrows or anything with me, but at the same time we do have the horse that can knock things out anyway, so and we do already have an Anki, but just out of curiosity we'll have a look and see what level that one is. Just a level 20. So there's metal there, so thinking somewhere around here we may potentially find some crystal as well. Don't want to get too close to the moth because it'll do its poisony thing. Okay, got a bit of a lake around here. Stick my head in and have a look, see what's in the water. Oil. Got oil in the water. A lot of oil. Okay, that's handy. And so far no piranhas, also handy. Okay. Looks pretty safe. At least this time. Doesn't mean it will be every time, but once we get a few more levels, we might actually have to put some into oxygen, give us a bit more speed and time in the water. Yeah, nice little seemingly herbivore lake by the looks of it. Ooh. Is that crystal? Looks like crystal, but is it harvestable crystal? We should be able to get up there down that other end where we first came in, but we'll keep going this way for now. Another moth. Dodie. We are going to want a Dodie, but we'll want something a bit higher. That is a raptor. Attacking them poor little horsies. There's actually a few raptors. Let my stamina build up, see if they want to come back. We'll knock them out if we need to. Right, that's one knocked out. Okay, they're all knocked out. So yes, probably not a ideal spot to build, just because we don't want all the raptors. Let's get some more stamina on here. Right. Now, can we get up to that crystal? There we go. Okay. We have crystal. That'll probably do for now. I do need to find another Jerboa, I think. Yeah, definitely not an ideal spot here. Not for trying to do it without killing things. Although it's so tempting with the raptors, but nice spot overlooking the lake. Yeah. Let's have a look on the map, see where we're at. So, probably won't head into there because this looks like a redwoods area. That looks like a microraptor over there, and that's a microraptor there now. Let's see if we can. You brought that on yourself, Mr. Microraptor. On the plus side, that might give me the hide that I need to make the spyglass. Right, back over to the safe side. Okay, so yeah, so we just need a bit of fibre and wood, then we can make that, so that's easy enough. I can get that right here. That's the fibre. Okay. There's a tree. Okay, we have our spyglass. So there we go. Now we can identify things at a distance, and also up the top left there we can see exactly where we are on the map as well. Yeah, let's continue this way. Honey. If only we were not vegan. Now that's something that could be worth doing something with. It's a little bit too much around, I think, though. That, however, I think we're gonna need. Right, let's draw it over this way a bit. Yeah, and of course there's another Anki over there. It's bad enough that we already had two. Okay, let's go a different way. Okay, that's... Might have to heal up a little bit. Good thing is they generally lose aggro pretty quickly, the Ankies, so give me a bit of time to heal up. Okay, that one's pretty keen, but if it's just the one, I'm happy with that. He should be torpor running soon. There we go. Now, what I'm going to do to make this a bit quicker, I'm going to run back around and get some carrots back on the beach, because it's going to be quicker than using Mijos or anything else. So I'll run and do that, and then I'll bring you back. Okay, so whilst heading back, my horse may or may not have encountered difficulty with heights, and hence left me walking. So I'm gonna try and tame up this Moschops. Got a point there I can put in my oxygen, so let's get that happening. Hopefully that is not going to say it wants honey, because then I can't finish taming it. Okay, so I wasn't sure if that what it was telling me on the spyglass was accurate, but yeah, it is wanting giant bee honey, so... Okay, so while I was over here, I thought I'd quickly just grab a parasaur. Just to make life a little bit easier. Just keep an eye on that Dillo, make sure it doesn't come over this way. Yeah, still keeping an eye on the Anki's torpor. So yeah, so I'll tame this up, and then we'll use this to get back over to the Anki, just so we've got something to be on, because all the raptors and stuff that were over there, it'd be a bit much to try and get there on foot, I'd say. So yeah, so once I've got this tamed up, I'll bring you back and we'll head back over to the Anki. Okay, so we're almost done here. He's just about to wake up. Right, so it's not a pony, but it'll do. Let's get it saddled up, and it can actually carry all this stuff for us now. Let's keep my arrows on me. Okay. It's a bit foggy at the moment, but we'll make our way back to the Anki, get some carrots in it so it can tame up. May as well grab a few extra. So if we see another horse along the way, we'll grab it as well. So, yeah, that's a raptor. Okay. Dillos I don't have issue with. Raptors can be kind of hazardous. See if we can get around it. Alright, so I'm just going to keep making my way around back up to where the Anki is. If anything worthwhile happens, I'll bring you back. Otherwise, I'll just bring you back when we get there. Okay, I am back here, so we'll get the carrots in there to tame it up. We just noticed we've got a little baby one here too, so we might actually get a bonus one. And I brought the narcotics with me in case we need some. On the way up here, I did come across another horse, so after we got this, we might go back and see if we can replace the pony. So, because the parasaur just is a little bit slow to get around on. So, but beats walking, but it's not a pony. So. Okay, so one more bite and then that'll be done. Let's take the excess out so we'll save them. As soon as it wakes up, it'll probably be hungry, so it can eat those instead. And we'll get another stack of berries to feed the baby that we're about to claim. There we go. Okay, so start making our way back now and have a look for that horse. And this may take a while because the baby's going to walk pretty slowly. Yeah, and it seems to be struggling to get down the hill anyway. Okay, so I'll make my way over and just bring you back as anything happens. Okay, so we have a 135 horse here. Let's give it a go, see if we can get this one. Okay, so let's try getting the carrots in our pot bar and do that again. Once he calms down, well, good thing is, though, we can at least track him. Looks like he's got himself down on the lower level, so have a look and see how to get down there. Just checking that the Anki's got food. A little bit more in each of them. This one's almost finished raising. Yeah, I did get one imprint on it, but then it wanted kibble, so I wasn't able to do the second one. So let's have a look. Not sure if it actually just fell off an edge or if there's a path down there. Yeah, because, yeah, it looks like it just fell down. So what I'll do is I'll head back around that way. Which is still a pretty slow journey, because even if the Anki was fully grown, it's the adult one doesn't move much quicker, so but we'll get round there and then I'll attempt it again, this time with the carrots. Okay, so we found it, we're on it. Yeah, we'll just hopefully it doesn't run into the water or anything silly, but let's see what we can do. It'd be nice if it just stays stuck here, that'd be perfect. Yep, looks like we're going off on an adventure. Okay, another place happy for it to stay stuck. Yeah, what should I need? That should just be 2 more. It's nice looking Dodie there. Didn't catch what level it was, but last one. I'm not going to get great effectiveness, which was my own fault for having a cyan berry in my bar and not thinking. But that's alright. Come on. Let's go. There we go. Oi, got a new pony. Now what level was that? No, it's only a 50. Nice though. I do like that coloration. Okay, well, let's get all this back to base. Look, and that's now a full-grown Anki. But yeah, let's get all this back to base. So we're back to safety, which will take a bit. Then what I am thinking, so yes, as I said, the other thing we wanted to do was upgrade the base. So I've got the crystal, so we've got the spyglass, and then got distracted, lost a horse, got a horse, got a couple of extra Anki. But yeah, so those ones will be ready to breed because I've got the high level female back at the base, and then I've got the high level male, plus just got an extra one because we claimed the baby as well, which will give us an extra female, quicker eggs that way. But yeah, so I think what we want to do, we'll get back to the base, and then we've got to get a bit of defense around the base, but probably more importantly, we'll get some crop plots up and going. So we're still going to need to get, hang on, lost one of the Ankies. Let's get back. Wait for it to turn itself around so it's not stuck anymore. There we go. Yeah, 1 Anki, 2 Ankies, 1 horse. Yep. Okay, yeah, so we'll get the crop plot. We're going to want a dung beetle, because that's going to help us generate poop, or generate fertilizer from the feces. But for now, if we just work it out where we're going to have it, get the crop plots laid out, then that'll be a good start for today. So what I'll do, I'll continue back, and then bring you back when I get there, or unless anything happens on the way. Okay, so we made it back. Along the way, we happened to pick up a stray dodo. He was just wandering around with no parents, so couldn't just leave it out there on its own. So I brought it back. Really, Mr. Pteranodon? This is a vegan house. Go away. We did encounter a few dillos along the way that had to be disposed of. But yeah, so what we're going to do is get some crop plots. What I'm thinking is, because I don't particularly like this little hollow beam here, is if I do some foundations that fill in this gap, and we'll make like a little greenhouse out here. And so we'll probably line it up with here and go across there. So it fills in this gap so there's no little drop off there. So because just where we are, stone is probably going to be easier to harvest if in a greater quantity. So what we'll do is we'll unlock the stone foundations and get that happening. So let's get in there and have a look. So stone foundations. Yeah, we'll just stick with it. I'll get the triangle ones as well, just in case. And I don't think foundations are going to be able to cover all of it, so let's get the pillars and the ceilings unlocked as well. Yeah, we'll probably need some of the other stuff, but for now we'll just go with that. And we are definitely going to need crop plots, so medium is the one we need, so that's good, we can use that. Don't need large. Large is only for like your plant species and that sort of thing. I do actually have some levels. So yes, I'm gonna go through and harvest up some rocks and trees and stuff, and as well as what I've already got on when we got attacked. The Yankees kind of sometimes harvested some of the stone and that as well, so we'll use that. Yeah. I'll get the metal burning, get some foundations happening, and when I've got that, I'll bring you back as we start laying it out. Okay, so while I've been crafting some, which we still need to do some more, I've got 9 so far. Make that 10. I've got up to level 36, which means I've unlocked the Anki saddle. So I'm just gonna get that, and that's gonna make it a bit easier to sort of run around getting all the stone. So even though the Anki gets the metal and the flint more than stone, it's still going to be a lot quicker and easier than doing it with the hatchet. A Dodie would be preferable for that, but I get nearly 50 every hit. Sitting there with the hatchet, sitting there bashing away forever just to get 15 or 20. That's it. I was able to clear out that whole area in a matter of seconds, and yeah. So now that that's happening, that's gonna make it a lot easier. Okay, so I've got a few resources. We should probably have enough to get it done. I've been going through because we're going to be needing fertilizer for the crops. So every time I see or hear some, I go and find it and put it in the list row. would be handy with the eggs, but being vegan, nope. So yeah, so with the dinos that we've got, we should get a decent supply of fertilizer. Obviously once we get a dung beetle, that makes life a lot easier. But yeah, so let's get this lined up. So yeah, so I said I want to try and fill this corner here, get it as close to in line with that as I can. Can take a little bit of fiddling around to get exactly where you want. I think that is my spot. Yep. So let's go with that. So yeah, so we've ended up a little bit higher down here than that area. Okay, yep, I think we'll. So we'll make a couple more, fill in that gap there as well. Usually you make the stone stuff on your inventory, but because I've got the B+ smithy, it lets me make it in there as well. Right, so yeah, so I want to fill in this as well. So what we're going to need, so I think we're going to need one more foundation to cover that, and then this bit here we'll cover with ceilings, so I'm going to need one foundation and 6 ceilings. Okay. There you go. Now okay, so this end here we could actually do with foundations, which will be and give it a better finish. So I'll do 2 more foundations. Yep, gonna do another 3 foundations and come across and fill that bit in as well. Just out of curiosity. Okay, so if we were to come down there. Yep, okay, I'm gonna do that as well. So we'll come down another level and come out another 2 or 3. So let's get down what we have, and then we can have a look at that. Right, so we're going to need a bit more, and then we can go through and finish that bit off. might actually just change that, make that where we actually come down. And put those two there. Yeah, then we can finish off with some foundations. Okay, so I've got a little bit more now, so let's keep going here. Let's get that one there. Put a ceiling down here earlier just so I wasn't carrying it, but anyway, so I've got that section there. So we're going to need some stairs, some more pillars, some more foundations. Let's put this down and see what we got. Yeah, I think we can probably do one more. So 1, 2, 3 up the top there, and then we'll make some walls. Oi, you might need to get out of here, Mr. Trike, because you're kind of going to be getting in the way now. I think I want to leave that open at the bottom just so it's got that natural water flow look to it. And I'm definitely going to need to fill in that gap. What we want to put down now is these ones. There we go. Now it's got a natural look down there. Got this end closed in up here. Thank you. Okay, let's make some crop plots and get the crops happening. Let's make sure these are all irrigated. So it's on. That one's irrigated. That one's irrigated. That one's irrigated. Yep. Okay. Citronelle. Long grass. Don't need the rock carrot. Need savor. Okay. Okay, we have crops. Irrigated. We have trikes that are going a long way towards getting themselves eliminated from the game. See. But we have crops. And what I want to do just before we finish up, I'm going to run down and see if we can get that drop. Not sure if we're high enough level yet, but let's go find out. Okay. We've got a sickle, got some narcotics, and a little bit of armor. Probably a little bit questionable as to whether we should use that armor. Yeah. Being that it's fur. Vegans probably not really likely to use fur armor. But we'll make that decision later. Oh, there's some crystal down there too. Anyway. Okay, well, I think that's where we're going to end it for today. So we've got a bit of a foundation down here, so obviously we've got the crops there, but we probably do most of our crafting and everything down in here, which means what we'll do is we'll move all the smithy and forge and all that out of the little beach shack, and that'll basically just be our accommodation, and we'll turn this into our little grind pad. But yeah, so I think next time what we want to do is let the crops grow. We will then make some food, because you've probably noticed we're constantly hungry, to the point of even where it's like taken health away because it's just too inconvenient to be constantly eating like that. But if we do make up some food with the crops, that should give us some longer lasting food that we can have. And yeah, as for the rest of it, we'll figure it out from there. So yeah, thanks for joining me, and yeah, look forward to seeing you on the next one.